MSTR is down 6.5%, SOUN is down 18.4%, Bonk and other meme coins down over 10%, Bitcoin as a whole down over 3%, getting a nasty flush right here, coming back down to 93,000. The overall market is bloody red, and we are seeing a bloodbath today. Now, given this is the only time, or at least a long time, since I've seen GameStop trade inverse the SPY, showing a ton of strength as the market is bleeding off, I have something that you're not going to like to hear with GameStop that the SEC is kind of agreeing to, and then I have some reasons why it's still very bullish. I did actually end up adding more GameStop calls, and we'll talk a little bit about that in today's video. Make sure to watch until the end of the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel. That is all free, and make sure to drop a comment down below. And guess what? A lot of you guys who come and watch the videos every single day don't subscribe to the channel for some odd reason. If you're not subscribing, come on. I don't know what you're doing. Without further ado, let's get into it. So first things first, you may have noticed that each time GameStop has tried to rally over the past 4-hour candles, today, last night, the day before, the move gets a little bit suppressed. Now, we are seeing nearly all of the large GameStop trades, at least today, being executed in the dark pool, and we have been seeing a lot of dark pool orders, but we are also seeing a ton of shares being borrowed short against GameStop. How are they getting these shares? We're going to talk about that. Every breakout is getting suppressed as of right now, and here is basically the key reason. What's happening is there is Rule 204 that is written out by the SEC that requires brokers and market makers to close out failure to delivers by purchasing or borrowing the securities at a specific deadline. An FTD occurs obviously when the seller fails to deliver shares to the buyer, often linked to naked short selling and market manipulation. Here is what's happening. There's ETF creation mechanism, authorized participants, aka APs. Keep that in the back of your head. APs are entities authorized to create or redeem shares of an ETF. They work directly with the ETF issuer. Creation units. APs bundle stocks or cash equivalents to create ETF shares. This process involves delivering the underlying basket of securities, which may include individual stocks like AMC or GameStop. So one of these ETFs was created. Stay with me and bear with me here. One of these ETFs was created, and coincidentally, you have AMC, you have GameStop. Now, here's a loophole that's created to save the market maker from delivering these shares. A market maker like Citadel sends an irrevocable creation order to an AP before the FTD closeout deadline. By doing this, the market maker appears to deliver the required securities indirectly through the ETF's creation mechanism. The SEC considers this action compliant with Rule 204 that we mentioned because the creation order theoretically satisfies the FTD obligation. Now, Ladder Trading obtained a no action letter from the SEC, which essentially means the SEC will not pursue enforcement if the market maker uses this approach. This is what is happening. There is Citadel, there is Latour. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, that is fine. That is a market maker, okay? The market maker says to the SEC, hey, can I do this to get around Rule 204? In other words, the SEC says, listen, we will not take any action at all if you fail to deliver on AMC and GameStop and go against Rule 204, but as long as you go through the ETF and you basically create a fake order that says you're going to purchase these shares, we will not take any action. So in other words, the bad case, and so, well, the good case scenario is that they are digging the hole deeper and deeper and deeper because at some point, theoretically, these shares should have to be delivered. Now, what's bad about this is bad for any given company, and this is why the market is messed up, is because they could theoretically do this to any company, push them into bankruptcy, and pull every single person's money out, right? Fail to deliver, fail to deliver, fail to deliver, bring the company to bankruptcy, SEC does nothing, and they walk away with a clean slate. So what's happening here is we saw the major amount of FTDs coming, and the SEC denied to basically give that to us to protect, obviously, Citadel, Latour, and now they are allowing them to do this loophole. So they are giving relief to these market makers because they know GameStop, AMC would break the markets, and the SEC is just as scummy as these bastards who are stealing and taking your money. So make sure to share this video if you have not shared the video yet. Now, here is the bullish side of things. Before we talk about the market, we got to finish covering GameStop. Greg posted, he says 5 days until my birthday. That is today. That leads us into a date we've been talking about to open the gift. When Roaring Kitty shows us what's in the box, that will be January 13th. And it's the same as the requel as last time. If you come and you take a look, GameStop traded like this before January 13th. And what happened January 13th? That is when you had the 92% candle. Now, we thought we were a little bit earlier in the cycle. However, GameStop continues to play out these consolidation patterns into potentially Monday, which is January 13th. So we may not see anything on Friday, and tomorrow, Thursday, the market is closed. Okay, so keep that in mind. The 9th, the market is closed. So we may not see anything Friday. We may see more consolidation, or we may see one more last scare tactic before going higher, or we may see the first leg up to 36 bucks or so, which also leads us into these scammy ass candles that you see on GameStop that pop us up to $36 overnight and then immediately come back down. Okay, there are several things this could be. No, it's not a glitch. These things actually happen in the market. Market makers love to do random shit behind the scenes in the market. They love to mix around orders. They love to create artificial buying and selling pressure. They love to just control the entire market, and the SEC allows it. Now, with this box being open on the 13th, I'm expecting that is when we actually start the move, and I assume I'm not sure what their way out of this is going to be, because they decided to request for a loophole to short more and stop the momentum. It seems as if they are going to attempt to fight against GameStop's run. We're going to see what happens. AMC got a bloody candle down 2.8%. I'll explain what's good about this. We originally saw this pattern look something like this, but now once you drag it out to meet the criteria of this large of a sell candle, we actually continued to adjust our pattern to see how large the move could actually look, and we could see the move actually January 13th, 14th, 15th come up to 475, build a base at 435 before squeezing. Okay, so it just builds us for a larger move, which is a good thing to see. And that is what I'm expecting for AMC. Now, before I show you the SPY chart and some other charts, Trump is considering a national economic emergency declaration to allow for a new tariff program, according to some sources like CNN. We also had U.S. jobless claims coming in, rising 201,000, estimated 220 and previously 220, which is the lowest since January 2024. Last but not least, the spread between S&P 500's forward earnings yield and 10-year Treasury yield has reached a new 23-year low. There's a lot of data suggesting that we are going into a recession. The SPY is selling off. We got whipsaw today completely, and we traded it in Discord. We made money on puts. We let this thing go up, and then we re-entered puts, let this thing go down, and now are in profit. One thing I want to warn you is we have FOMC at 2 p.m., which this video should be up before then. It is currently 12:40 p.m. Eastern Standard. Okay, so this video should be up before then. What's going to happen with the market is you have intraday signals that are mapped out in green for you that I have mapped out. Okay, if we see some bullish data, here are the levels that you need to watch. First of all, SPY is going to come back up to 588. Next level after that, if we get a breakout, 592 to 592.50. Last levels of the day, the top that I see is 596 to 597.90. Okay, somewhere in this green zone. If we go higher than that for the last 2 hours of the trading day, I would be surprised. Either way, if you see bullish news for the SPY, you're likely to break out of what you could call a bearish diamond pattern on the SPY, which is something that we have been watching out for. We've seen that we actually broke beneath this pattern, but we did it once right here as well. So this could be a nice bear trap, and we could all get stuck in our positions. If we see some negative data coming into the FOMC, 584.30, 583.50. And that is just the first level that will easily wick down to. And chances are, even if data is decent, you're likely going to wick into there anyway before climbing. So I would watch for that. If you're in SPY puts, watch very closely. If we break below on bad data, watch 581 to 580, potentially even a low of 579. Okay, that's if things get extreme. 579. If things get extreme to the upside, 602, right? Overall, guys, that is the chart on the SPY. Nvidia got a nice meltdown. We called this out right here. Nvidia needs a bounce here or else, which means you could have entered puts here with a stop loss at 141, 141.25, or you could have entered calls here with a tight stop, in which case you would have gotten kicked out already. It seems as if it is trying to push down, but again, with that meeting around the corner and everything looking bearish, this could be a trap for bears, and bulls could actually, take the reins on this one. But as of right now, the option chain for the SPY is also leaning bearish. So that is something to note as well. Sometimes right before some data comes out, see if there's a major shift in the option chain. It might help you to see what's going on. Sometimes they shift it last minute and maybe it starts leaning bullish right before the meeting. And that's something that you could watch out and pay attention for as well. Tesla also down 1.2% on the day. I think if we have bad data that comes out, Tesla is going to absolutely melt down. I think you're going to see a big candle, not only to 362, which is the first price target, but honestly, after hours, you may see a flush to 348 and then maybe 325 on Tesla and maybe even lower. I really expect this thing to flush if we see some bad data. So just watch Tesla coming into tonight. Obviously, if we see some good data, I'd expect Tesla to get back above 422.50 and close above that. Last but not least, crypto selling off 93K. If we retest 91, the more you test these supports, tested once, tested twice, 3, 4. I mean, we only really tested 91 probably twice now. The more you test these, the weaker the support gets. So I think if we test that again, Bitcoin could fall off a cliff. Now, what is that cliff going to look like? Ultimately, the first price target would be 84K if Bitcoin falls off a cliff, and then 80K. Okay, so watch those levels as well. Cryptos, meme cryptos like Bonk are really not doing hot, and I am still in this. This just looks very, very, very ugly. Chances are you are seeing a meltdown like this, a major, major breakdown in the charts, and you're going to be looking for some support, probably down at this level again, which shows that there could be more downside on this. Overall, you may see a meltdown across the board with cryptos drop another 20%. That is if we get some bad data. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Make sure to have post notifications on. And if you are freaking out in this market and you want to come talk with me and the most amazing people who talk stocks and crypto in here all day long, get in the Discord. If you're not taking your trading seriously, that's fine. That's fine if you want to keep working your 9 to 5 and you don't want to take trading seriously. That is okay. But if you are not in that group of people, join the Discord. The link is in the top of the description. We have a ton of benefits in there. I post my trades as soon as I take them. We talk stocks and crypto. Overall, best vibes, best people in there. Honestly, the family is great. And whether you're a beginner or advanced or have any questions, I'm sure people will answer them, including myself. And if you want up to 15 free stocks, each valued up to $2,000 per stock, use the second link in the description. Download the free broker. It is Moomoo, courtesy of them. Once you open an account through them and deposit into your account once you're approved, you are going to earn these free stocks and 8.1% APY on your uninvested cash. Access to level 2 order book data for free, trading options, going long, going short, viewing other exchanges, and more as a retail trader. So go do that, guys. I love you all. God bless. Lottery Stocks out.